Hello everyone and welcome to another match of the 2022 Roulette Rivals World Championship. And yeah, now it's almost the final 2 weeks of the tournament. The stakes are going to get really high. This time round 3 of winners bracket between TheTimeCube and Yannini. TimeCube, one of the 2 remaining rookies, one of the 2 best rookies of this tournament and maybe of the whole year. The American has finished 3rd in Group F behind I Like Hitman and the Buff Guy, and has gone, of course, undefeated in the winners bracket so far to meet Yannini, the 3-time RR champion, who finished 2nd in Group B to make it this far. And yeah, speaking of those matches in the winners bracket so far, if I can find the right scene, then I can show you here the brackets that what has happened so far to these two players. I'm sorry. As you can see, it's match 46. The second of the round 3 matches. The TimeCube on the top has first defeated Sparkles 6-2, another rookie, another great rookie, but they had to have been meeting so early. And yeah, the second match was a 6-4 sort of upset against Joker Jade, the runner-up of RR8, and I think the 3rd place finisher of RR9. So really great new player. Of course, Joker not really new anymore, but you know the drill. Yannini has beaten Zerun first 6-2. Of course, a very well-rounded player, the Thai. But that second round match was the real clash of the Titans, and Yanni, with a 6-0 sweep against Float 7, has made himself one of the favorites to make it to the final and, dare I say, win the tournament. But only one can advance, and one will, of course, move down to the lower bracket, and let us see what happens now in the next 3 to 6 maps, starting in Santa Fortuna, chosen by TimeCube. And I think at this point I could start adding some music here. Not music, game sound rather. And yeah, I think we are getting ready now with less than half a minute to go. First it is Santa Fortuna by TimeCube, and then it is Paris by Yannini. Going to short season 1 map from the longest map in the trilogy. You wouldn't say it's the longest, judging by the world records. 5:53 by Danny Buta.
Starts in 10 seconds.
As I
9,
get shocked by
7,
Fake Diana
6,
on TimeCube side.
5,
He's
4,
going to be the one whose
3, 2,
ear will be
1.
listening. Of course, neither have microphones on, but some background noise never bad. Rico Delgado injected poison as construction worker. Jorge Franco sniper rifle as mansion guard. And Andrea Martinez SMG as P-Power is the first spin here today. 2 firearms, a large one, a small one. You probably want to bring in both, but if you do, then you can't have both a silence pistol and a seeker, which would make the now famous, infamous Red Fox threat a little less than viable. On a really personal note, I will have to mute myself for a couple of minutes in a couple of minutes time, so if that happens, I will just very quickly end my sentence and just go into mute. Just be prepared for that. Yanni is the first one in, and yeah, this is some sort of early Rico Eye, so it's not necessarily the bridge one, and you will see from Yanni's side that he might be using this soft lockdown, which Jotes was the first one to try, but no, it will be Red Fox in the end with a car shot and a seeker shot to get him on the bridge. Especially because it's a live kill, so you can't isolate him early enough, but Rico is going very far to puke, so you can still get him at the 4-minute mark after all the Andrea isolation. Probably it will be bridge ISO into Andrea KO into getting the construction worker. And then we will see what happens after Yanni, after a long setup, gets the seeker shot on Rico. That's a bit longer than expected, gets the strong peekaboo from these 2 guards, but at this point it won't be a problem, and Yanni gets Rico onto the bridge. TimeCube will start with P-Power, which will mean that Rico will be isolated much later. But either of the bathrooms could work for that live kill for Rico. And Jorge being mansion guard, these guys, you can get it some other veins.
That is P-Power. Real name, Full Powers. Celebrity artist and reality TV star.
¿Cómo anda?
Thank you for your patience, everyone, and let's see what happens since then. Yanni got the Mansion Guard disguise and he's going to get Andrea by the 2.5 minute mark just in time. And especially with Nunchas passing this guy, there will be no timing troubles. TimeCube would have wanted to do the same, or perhaps an even earlier Andrea grab, but he is now stuck waiting for Andrea to get down to the this conference room, this meeting room with Paola, and the same 2:15-ish timing, but combined with the kill will be the first one of this match, because I don't see Yanni getting Rico in the next minute, although of course he's not too far away and neither is he construction worker. TimeCube with some more weight there, but once that door closes, that should work out just fine. And yeah, I think Kaneta is right there that we should look a bit into the loadouts here, because as I mentioned, the sniper is a must to bring in. And Yanni, for the Red Fox jet, did use a silenced pistol and the seeker, so 3 firearms is the maximum you can do from a suit start, which means that the SMG will have to be loud. And you cannot mitigate the kill with a Trang. Yanni going for construction worker. For some reason he's still not biting. It's now the second distraction, and after some delay he gets it. This is a nice and rarely used agility spot through the wooden hole, I guess. It's a little vault there, and although not on a crouch, but gets to these guys cleanly. TimeCube with the same approach, and both of them first try getting the construction worker, which is so important. And here we have it, 4 minutes into the run. Yanni has dropped the briefcase for Rico to notice it. That will slow him down just enough, but Rico is about to turn around, and no GRB. Luckily this spot isn't elevated enough, but nice to see him float in the air before the kill, and that should be well hidden enough, and Yanni will get Rico also crucially, I guess. TimeCube with a bit of a buffer on my end, which means that you can just never trust the players. If there is one buffer, you refresh and then you get an ad, which I do want to avoid for the time being, but if there's another buffer, then I think I will catch up with TimeCube. Yanni now stashing the loud SMG, and that will be his second kill. And after getting P-Power, that will be the crucial part of his spin. As good as Rico was as a kill and as a timing, it doesn't mean a lot if the P-Power kill isn't successful. Loud Andrea can always be a problem. TimeCube with a problem, and the whole replan. Is he missing an item? There is no concealed weapon for him. He wanted a seeker, and I wouldn't say the spin is impossible, but it would have made his attempt minutes slower after shuffling around his disguise for so long, or shuffling around his loadouts for so long, but ended up going without the seeker, and only now notices it and gives Yanni a big lead. 4 minutes of TimeCube's run is gone, and Yanni is now 6 minutes into his... that is so unfortunate. As just as he was about to infiltrate the mansion to count, I guess, internally what steps he needs to make, TimeCube just misses that emetic device. And yeah, I don't think it's 100% either way, whether you must stick to it or you must restart without the seeker, but I think the 4 minutes that TimeCube has given up, I think it's a fair choice to restart, because without seekers, these 2 kills would be much longer than that. So now it's a Yanni lead, and if his run stays alive after this kill, then we can talk about a big lead, but Yannini still needs to hit this, and people have lost to this. Dumping her off the window just too late. And the backdoor can be troublesome. There's the kill. Let's see the minimap. Let's see if Yannini crouches, and indeed he should. Still chest passing leaves the room. Some whoosh, but shouldn't be too much whoosh from outside, and Yannini's out back in the open with two very important kills done. Just the straightforward Jorge sniper kill to go in a non-chest pass in disguise. As the TimeCube, of course, can just hope to get this Andrea kill with a good timing. He already secured the construction worker, but it's obviously too big of the gap to overcome, and Yannini is to lose at this point.
Martinez is down.
Agency pickup still yet to touch. Yet to be touched by Yannini. It is of course the Coca field, where the sniper is hidden, and we have seen that one dart has been used for Rico at the beginning, so there is one more to go for Yannini. At the 8-minute mark, it wouldn't be a too long wait before Jorge gets to the good part of the Coca field. What is remaining for Yannini is indeed a very straightforward part of the spin. It is the point when some Dutchmen would start to post GGs, and it is indeed hard to say how can it go wrong for Yannini. A missed seeker shot has been seen before, and but that's really about it, because the guards will always comply since you started the KO. It's one silence shot on the body, so it wouldn't cause a bullet distraction for the Coca field workers, and you aren't chest passing to exit the area. So of all the Jorge kills to do, this is the one that feels most suited for Yannini to end with first run. TimeCube with a sniper on his back, trying to do those bullet distraction. I didn't see the maid where she will go. Luckily she's leaving. But one more bullet distraction for good measure. And I think TimeCube cannot catch Rico in the office anymore, so that's the reason why he has to leave the area. And I think it may even mean that TimeCube will prioritize Jorge because he's on a good timing, and just set up a meaty bone for Rico later, because he's just missed the other timings. The guard is coming back, but the whoosh wasn't strong enough. And yeah, coming back to Yannini, it is now one sniper shot away, and with the ghost, it doesn't even need to be a headshot. Snipes have been done before, maybe the first ever, but still a stylish way to finish. Still, of course, Yannini has to hit, and nerves must be high. Still, it's map number 1 of a round 3 match, but Yannini hits the shot on Jorge and exits the map with the first try. 11-minute run. In real time, you will see the in-game time is even a bit lower than that. 10-18 to win the first map for Yannini. Of course, now it is fair to say the GG's. Yannini indeed taking Santa Fortuna is a good first step for him, because that was TimeCube's pick.
0-2.
And we can see the American would go for this seeker shot, a double one at that. I think the plan is here to just run and set up the meaty bone as soon as possible. And then it's anyone's guess when Rico would come to see the hippo. It would be still, of course, 4 to 5 minutes. And if the cycle is unfortunate, it would have been slower than Yannini's 10-18, but it was sort of a backup from TimeCube anyway, because we have seen that he intended to get Rico up in his office, but he was just barely late for that. So that is the end of the story on this map, but of course still at least 2 more maps to go, starting in Paris. No ads for TimeCube, and Yannini is an affiliate, so can never be too sure, but nice, we are back even here, and shout out to Chrome, our admin today. Wishing smooth sailing for him, especially. This is one of the maps which would see a photo finish. It's a spin, but it's a map with not a lot of mainline spins, strats rather. And if both players opt to start with Dahlia, or make her sick, or bring her down, or detonate later, I think these are basically all the strats you can do in Paris, then we would end up with photo finish, because, well, the mechanical differences aren't too big. And I think the plan is here for Yannini to bring in a cicada, a quick one. I'm not sure. Of course, Victor is already going up to the attic. So it's a bit different timing for everyone here, because by now the palace staff is already also going to this balcony. Well, it's not time related, it happens after you distract. After you distract the auction staff, it just goes there to smoke, which is good to know for no spins whatsoever, but I guess shouldn't catch you by surprise. 40 more seconds and we will end up seeing if Yannini can get up there without being enforced. I think this is a challenge, going from below to above, but above from below, well, going from the top to the bottom is a bit easier because you can just bump him. That's a body found on Dahlia, and yep, this is the main antagonist of this map, Sophus.
Prepare yourself.
There is no exact placement for the banana that will work 100% of the time, but let's hope it won't make the difference here. The second spin is coming up right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eliminate the target.
Thank you, Diana. Victor Novikov SMG as Palace staff, and Dahlia Margol's Silence Sniper Rifle as auction staff is our spin here, and it is 2 quick staff disguises. The tech crew being the, I think, the common denominator, and well, I was gonna say bring Dahlia down, but I think Kaneta is right there. If you wanna win the map confidently and even have a crack at the world record, you need to snipe Dahlia. And with this disguise, it's quite a possibility. I think we will see what the action will be below the balcony. If it's a thrown distraction to bring down the guard, then we will see something good. And the TimeCube is... oh, he has an SMG. He tries to do one shot. That will be a bullet impact noticed. And might panic Dahlia. Yeah, that's soft lockdown, and time will leave sadly, and Yannini with the distraction to bring down the guard, so this will be a quick one. Potentially, of course. TimeCube with the restart sadly. Can't really be salvaged. A bit of hesitation for Victor, question mark. Now it's a bit trouble to KO him, because Victor keeps looking at 47. Gets the KO, the silence deck, and now he's just getting the SMG. And the sniper, of course. And get to the balcony. If it's a big back and forth and lots of detours, I wouldn't be surprised if the guard would be back by then. I mean, let's just calculate it. We know that Dahlia is at the balcony around 1.5 minutes if you just do the regular distraction, so she could take 1 minute and 15 seconds, and if you double that to 2.5 minutes, as long as Yannini can exit before the 3-minute mark, I wouldn't be worrying about the guard, but any longer than that, and it can be troublesome. Yannini going up there as the last staff, he will be just passing on the top of those stairs. He will be about to enter. And it's definitely a bit more challenging approach as TimeCube with the usual Dahlia lure. It will be slower in-game time-wise, but should Yanni restart, TimeCube has the map. But that's a big if. First, Yanni needs to get to victory in Trespassing Disguise. End of the cycle for this crew, which is a bit troublesome, but he wasn't found. And yeah, Yanni now gets the balance staff kill. He needs to be minding the fact that if he changes into the security, then there will be enforcers at the bottom of those stairs. He knows about it. I'm not sure about the other staircase. And where is the cicada going now? It's 2.5 minutes into the run. He's already going back up there to the balcony. I think it might just be too slow a spin to do the snipe on. Or did he never distract the guard? Because I see 2 NPCs back up there. It's just so hard to see at this point because the fireworks are gone by now. Dahlia is on the balcony. It won't be a snipe. Yanni just going for the safe approach. The guard is definitely in position, but Dahlia is, I think, a step. Well, that's hard. What do you do there for Yanni? Because this will break Dahlia, who will go to... Oh man. Of course, with this, Dahlia will now go to have this auction cycle, and this basically ruins Yanni's approach altogether. TimeCube is far from it, and this peekaboo will... He needs to do something about this TimeCube. He gets the last second distraction. He shouldn't come in here. Still 10 seconds for Yanni and TimeCube. It is tense for TimeCube and it's devastating for Yanni. His spin is basically out of the window. What do you do here from now? The fireworks have worn off. He goes back for his briefcase, and I think he will just isolate her in the office. That was a ballsy door opening. I didn't know where the 3 NPCs would line up. Yeah, it's his turn to go all the way back. I think this is TimeCube's turn to win the map. It's not a ghost. It's interesting sniper, but as long as he has the correct firearm, which is the SMG here, that is the right one. Close the door for extra safety and gets the first kill.
Good work, 47.
He'll still be dodging in the area.
Time to find
Stashes
Dahlia
back
Marvelous.
his sniper. He needs an auction staff. There is an auction staff next to Dahlia. But he will go for these head turny 2. This can be a GRB. This won't be a GRB. TimeCube. Oh boy, he misses the throw, but gets the quick subdue. And it's a very important second disguise for TimeCube. It's not a long cycle for Dahlia, but Yanni won't have the kill for another minute. TimeCube will be exiting the next minute. And whatever happened on the balcony, and I think the distraction did change some things for Yanni, but that's mostly through no fault of his own. It's really difficult to say what could have been done differently, but TimeCube with the second kill and no more enforcers to dodge. The helicopter will be trespassing, but he may be going basement. He is hovering over both ideas, but he will be going basement, tying up the match. Potentially tying up the match. It's PC versus PC, and Yanni has virtually no loading times. He has to wait for Sophus. He can now close the door and get the 2 KOs, but we are looking at a 20-second plus difference. It is possible to be even 35 or more. TimeCube will be winning Paris in very strange fashion. Whatever happened to Dahlia has made a difference for Yanni, and going to the RNG maps with 2-2. Great to see you, Hansen. That's a very good comment, that Yanni could have very easily restarted after that hiccup. Just trying to save it and panic it and try to make it a quick run, but he kept it green. It won't win him the map, but that will be frustrating for him regardless. That's the finish here, and going to see that first photo finish of the day. The official difference is yet to be seen. It's 518 to 647 and about 1350 levels of difference. But TimeCube with the earlier finish, and 42 seconds is the real time lead for the American, so there is no world where Yannini catches up, and we will be going to the RNG maps with a score of 2-2. I think that would be right, observer, if you want to think about what exactly happened. The distraction, the throne distraction happened very early on.
Score
It probably happened
2
as soon
to 2.
as Yanni's Dahlia reached the balcony, and well, we know it from the bottom floor that whenever Dahlia exits a distraction, with the fireworks still being on, she stops in that moment. She doesn't go to a set point on the map, but she stands, or she stays where she was standing, sorry, and we'll be watching the fireworks from there. And unfortunately for Yannini, without a distraction, or with the wrong timed distraction, that was right in the doorway to make it really difficult to salvage this Paris run. He says it's an RR2 style Paris, but I mean, I encourage everyone to watch back some RR2 matches. The in-game time may have been similar, but not the strats and all the things that happened in these 7 to 9 minutes. I think no one could have dreamed of those back in 2020. Yeah, RR2 is the first channel in our Discord with matches saved, and some of them are definitely quite the sight. And speaking of old RRs, we are coming to the mandatory, or like the always decider of RR1. It's Whittleton Creek, where all matches at 2-2 ended. Now it will continue at 2-2 score, and no one will be on a match point before this map, but someone will potentially be after this one. In just under 3 minutes, we see the map with Janice Nolan and the 3 clues. It's not always the same 3 clues, but unless it's the Archean rope spin or the Spencer the Hammer green spin, you will always see the photograph in the basement, the lawsuit, and the cigar box with a cigar and a note inside. Danny just realizing or hearing about the RR1 rule. Yeah, you can't ask me, but I'm sure there are some OGs in this chat who would remember the ruling behind it. Those were some good time. For RR2 and 3, the map pool, the decider map pool was 4 maps, and it was drawn from one of them. And it was from the shorter map pool, so Paris, Sapienza, Hokkaido, Whittleton, Miami, and could have been one more. Oh, in New York, of course. And yeah, even with those short maps, sometimes maps could have taken half an hour or more to finish because of the sheer difference in skill that players have this year compared to last year, and especially 2 years ago. But this is all just the same process, which started with so much more banned kills, so many more bans in the early RRs, and then step by step, tourney by tourney, those bans were lifted. There was a time that the drivers in Miami weren't allowed. The Sheik was a mere dream to get, and now we have the North Report and all the different emetic and sedative strats to get him. And of course, it is always a hot topic whether the current list of conditions are fine, if they should be adjusted with more bans or less bans. But most would say, I would say that the current balance is quite fine. But here's a little known fact from my match yesterday. Did you know that the politician's assistant can eat chunks not through his body, but through his clipboard. I found that out the hard way after 13 Videotron creeks over 2.5 years, I suppose. You can always learn, so it's good to see Yannini testing that, and although with some red guns, but got it 2 tough disguises at the same time. TimeCube very methodical as always, and we will see how the RNG
Agent,
maps
get ready.
treat these two
Duel
players.
starts
One
in
of the
10
best
seconds.
rookies of this year, one of the
9,
best players of
8,
all time. One will advance to the final 6,
6,
and the
5,
journey continues
4,
here in Videotron
3,
Creek.
2,
Janus fiber wire in
1.
the Archean ropes, and
Eliminate
Nolan casted
target.
drowning as a garbage man. Now, with swap disguises, this would have been the spin of the year. The Archean ropes aren't allowed on the party side, but Nolan drowning is still a very spicy option for a kill. With Gardener, or probably even better with Garbage Start, you go and rush the Archean ropes, and of course you go back to get the garbage man from where the Archean ropes were, at the bedroom of Helen's house. And you won't have to worry about disguises anymore. The garbage man is a bit tricky to get. It's not the worst thing ever, but still starting in it would be a relief. And I think both will be rushing the ropes first for a live kill. There's no real alternative. Yannini, I think, just opening this door first so he doesn't have to lockpick it open later, or he just needs the house by 1. And I will need to mute again. I'm sorry.
I have a license for it. I just don't bring it with me. You can't just confiscate my property. I need it to get rid of an aggressive invasive mole. Poor old man, that guy.
A ceremonial robe of some sort with a note from Janus attached. The note is interesting. Janus has asked Helen to do a few repairs on the robe before he leaves for his annual trip. He even put a date there. This is valuable information, 47.
Listen, I swear I have a license for it. I just don't bring it with me. You can't just confiscate my property. I need it to get rid of an aggressive invasive mole. Poor old man, that guy.
A ceremonial robe of some sort with a note from Janus attached. The note is interesting. Janus...
Listen, I swear I have a license for it. I just don't bring it with me. You can't just confiscate my property. I need it to get rid of an invasive mole. Poor old man, that guy.
A ceremonial robe of some sort with a note
Okay,
from Janus attached.
hey chat, Barb here.
The note is interesting.
Gonna just do some commentary
Janus
to
has
fill in
asked
for
Helen
Info
to do
Fun.
a few repairs on the robe before he leaves for his annual trip.
Okay, so Mika, oh wait a second,
This is valuable information.
my
47.
overlay's not updated, hang on a second. Okay, so TimeCube had a restart. Yannini is in the lead right now. Yannini's heading towards Nolan in Gunther disguise.
The first annual
Needs to get himself
gathering
a
of the Dark Society.
Garbage Man outfit, and he's going to use an emetic device on Nolan, it
If
looks like.
Janus was its founder, perhaps he's still attending these gatherings, 47. This could be valuable information indeed.
Okay, and TimeCube gets the clue from in the basement. Sorry, I don't have the right overlay, so it's a little confusing. Last minute, just trying to help out here with this cast. Okay, so Yannini is climbing up into the west property to get the Archean robes. No? Or to switch back into the garbage disguise. Yes, because the Janus kill has already occurred.
Helen, how are you today?
Ouch!
Is
Alright.
Oh my god.
So, Yenny's trying to get back to Nolan,
I'm bored.
who should still
Trigger.
be in front of the Bugman van. Oh, and Mika, or excuse me, not Mika. Sorry, TimeCube gets a target lockdown, and the guard was walking down the stairs. Even though he gets the kill, he was about to get ripped. So that's going to be a restart for TimeCube. Yanni's looking solid, running through the party house disguised as the garbage man, and gets the drowning kill on Nolan in this bathroom. This upstairs bathroom? Interesting. Didn't know he would path up to that bathroom there. I guess based on where he was in his cycle on the sidewalk, he responded to that emetic device by walking upstairs into the party house, and nice place to get a drown kill. So GG's. Yanni just needs one more clue, has the shovel in hand, so we'll be running back here to dig up
Ceremonial
the
robe of some
cigar
sort with a note
box.
from Janus attached.
And unfortunately, TimeCube
The note is interesting.
not going to be
Janus
able
has
to catch
asked
up
Helen
here,
to do a few repairs on the robe before he leaves for his
barring
annual
any
trip.
unfortunate
Even
rips
put a date
from
there.
Yanni.
This is
He will
valuable
be the
information
first
for
one
yourself.
to 4 points. GG's, Yanni. Looking very solid there. We'll wait for admin confirmation, but there's no chance of TimeCube finishing in any amount of time for a photo finish. So we're heading into our next Hitmaps map pick. Yanni with 4 points, so on the match point. TimeCube here on the back foot
Score,
needs to
2
win 2
to
maps
4.
to win. It's first to 6. And now I'm going to mute myself and focus on some work because I'm supposed to be working from home. So sorry to be brief on the commentary, but next map will be starting soon. Hopefully Infor will be back by then. If not, I'll try to jump in and do some more commentary. Thanks, chat. Enjoy.
Hey, I should be back now.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, Barbecue. How's it going?
Uh, out in, I'll be hanging out in the background, watching here because I'm
Agent, get
doing a
ready.
bit of work from home. But
Dual
Oh,
have a
okay,
great time with
okay.
this
10
Berlin
seconds.
spin.
I appreciate you helping
9,
out.
8,
Sure, no problem.
7,
Have fun.
6,
Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 1. Eliminate the target.
So we are back with map 4. Perfect timing. Consume Poison DJ, Screwdriver Suit, Shotgun Biker, Silent SMG Delivery Guy, and Fire Rolf Hirschmüller. Of course, the suit spin is the first one that comes to mind. But I don't think either of them would be changing their strategies much. Maybe just eliminating the biker and the club crew starts so that they are back with the mandatory club suit start. And yeah, it's the first one to be in by about 15 seconds. Screwdriver kill. I wanted to say quickly that it will be a quick kill, but I don't think you can get a screwdriver at this early part of the spin. But the green ISO into banner. It'll be a simple start. Just have to close one door again, but you can see now time could be the same first KO into the first second KO and probably the same third KO. There's not a lot you can do differently. And he gets a late lock on Agent Green, and will be no doubt luring up banner as well, because he can't really be used for any kill. The Consume Poison is not really an option. It will be interesting to see. I'll be setting up Lowenthal and
Be careful or you
running all the way down.
It's too late.
Just trying to think how long the Consume Poison setup would take. It's probably about 90 seconds, give or take, which you can do in any other disguise. But Yanni won't be using Lowenthal for this poison.
Got him.
What makes sense here is Silent SMG Delivery Guy kill, probably.
Don't waste the opportunity. We don't
Can
need
he
our
get the
noses
full
bloody
peekaboo
today.
here? He tends to stop in the door, but that was a nice and healthy peekaboo from Yanni and gets Lowenthal down.
Agent 47 is on site.
And here's the first difference in the two strategies. TimeCube
Don't let him slip through your fingers. No games.
with
No
the banner
kissing
lure,
around, just
and it
get
won't be the
done.
Silent SMG kill on Lowenthal. It was the Shotgun Biker, first triangle of this map. And of course, thanks to the Molotov cocktail, you don't have to force a Lowenthal to be used in the fire kill. It can be done anywhere, and there are some soundproof spots. Near Rolf and the bottom floor. TimeCube dodging a camera and still running into it, but think about whether to take care of it or not.
He slipped away. Shit.
And we'll be getting more kills
These are amateur
earlier
mistakes.
perhaps,
We need
but
to do better.
Yanni is still very efficient in isolating these targets. Multiple shots on the camera, but multiple shots on the car, but still the color arm is counts as just one. And Yanni with the suit. Oh, it doesn't get Agent Thames there, so that's a little problem. I guess I can get a KO regardless, and then it's not a lot of KOs to do anymore. Thames is down for TimeCube, but this time for the Silent SMG Delivery Guy kill. Only his first kill, but a lot more KOs already in the
Agent
works.
Thames, report. Are you there?
It's not unlikely that the poison setup will be next for TimeCube. Trying to see if there's
Officer
an agency
down.
pickup in this
He's
room.
sharp, so be sharper.
Just the bartender disguise, which makes it legal to poison the bottle. 5:05 is when Agent Davenport will drink from that bottle. So after this, it's going to be a rush down to the basement. And he gets the suit kill. It would be surprising if it's only the second kill with all the setup. But it is just the second one. Now setting up the delivery guy, and we know that at least Agent Green on the rooftop is the cause for red guns. That can even be the fire kill, although this will be really far away from Rolf's disguise. Looking around the inventory a lot to see whether or not, I guess Davenport or Swan could be options. Yanni will go for the rooftop right now. TimeCube on a timer. About 45 seconds until Davenport drinks, but it's not a long trek to the DJ disguise. Can crowbar this door open, they won't hear it. And just hope for no GRB. That was a bit of a whoosh there, a little trouble there. But Time has the disguise, and we'll have the consume poison kill, which puts the kills at 3-2, because in the meantime, Yanni got the silenced MG kill, and missing the two more technical ones. And Yanni will be starting to set up the fire kill, and hopefully with a basement agent.
Davenport, come in.
Bit of a switch
Davenport,
sides here. TimeCube now the one with the red guns, and Yanni was red, of course, at earlier part of the run.
The knight takes rook. That's another one down. Do not let him turn this situation around on us.
And I think it's just the 3 KOs that Yanni will do here, step by step. I would say that there is no need to rush, but it is round 3 of the knockout stage of the World Championship, so can't be too sure. Bullet impact on the bodyguard of the bodyguard, I guess, the friend of Montgomery. And I can only guess what happens to this guard. Can he get an angle? This is going to be so tough for Yanni. Maybe a last second misses the throw and will... I mean, it's a 90% that it was already red, but Yanni will have to restart, giving time to a 6-minute lead and 2 kills. So unfortunate that shooting the camera caused that havoc on the other side of the wall. So it is back to square one for Yanni, who definitely has at least 7, 8, 9 minutes of work cut out for him. Can TimeCube score 3 kills in that time? Is now the main question for Berlin. We can see the agents are closing in, and with similar timing you will be able to get a triple KO here. But it all depends on when Time will isolate them, and as Rolf, neither of them will be enforcing. That was a nice dance from Montgomery, but no bodies will be seen. And this will be the timing to isolate Chamberlain, the basement agent as well. Just close the door. And thank God the door was closed first.
Got it. I'll let you know if I need
Otherwise it
backup.
would have been really difficult to salvage. Fire, screwdriver and shotgun. It's the agenda here. There's the screwdriver. I can't be exactly sure if TimeCube brought the suit all the way down here, or if that will be a soundproof fire kill, but of course TimeCube knows much more about this map than I do and gets the fire kill without any searching going on.
Chamberlain, report. We've lost 3. If any of you have been waiting for your chance to snatch glory from the jaws of defeat, I would suggest getting it over with.
Yanni's first kill is the shotgun again. And just needed a mental reset to think of what kills will still be done here. Shotgun biker, 4-time-cube. And screwdriver suit, but I think he left the suit up here, so that's why he's coming up here as the biker. May or may not have a shotgun here as well. That is an NRAM, and that is 4 out of 5 kills, and that's the suit right there. And just the screwdriver remain, and little after 9 minutes of in-game time, TimeCube will be winning Berlin. Gets back to green guns, and I think at this point, really hard to say if Yanni could have won Berlin without a restart, but it's just such an impressive Berlin by TimeCube, forcing map 5 on this round 3 match. Very well done there. The map picks go 1 each, now the RNG maps go 1 each, and one last map will decide who advances to round 4 to face a GK Punk in the round of 6.
4-4.
It is Miami. Sometimes easy, sometimes tricky, but always nerve-wracking Miami. Where if the spin is not the most straightforward one, I think a lot can go really wrong there. Yeah, Yanni also said that he forgot the poison kill at the beginning of the run. And it probably wouldn't have made a difference because it was so late to set up, and I think Davenport was still running, but getting there and waiting on the cycle would have been a lot to take in. So one last map here, unless Miami is a photo finish tie, which happened once between Fraud and Blythe at the earlier tournaments of when a photo finish could result in ties. Can't remember if this is a single second or a 0-second tie. But that is the only way for us, apart from a no finishes in 47 minutes, then they're likely going to end it here in Miami, and one of these two players will be going down to the losers bracket. This is some monstrous win rates on the right hand side, but first I want to talk about that 100% Miami win rate, which was the RNG map pick against the buff guy in TimeCube's second ever match, taking Miami from buff, who himself almost made it to the next round. He lost to Punk, so if that map 5 would have gone the other way, then the winner of this match would be facing the buff guy. And yeah, Yannini is 15-2. It's one of the best win rates ever from a non-undefeated player. Let's see if I can find the 2 Miami losses. Hopefully that's not a bad omen to find, but the first loss was 420 back in RR3 semifinals. That was more than 2 years ago by now. And the other loss, need to scroll a lot for it. He spent a lot of tournaments without playing Miami actually. The other loss came against Phanium. That was the final match of his group stage and the final map of final most important map of Group B, which in the end saw Phanium advance with 27 points and Cabin eliminated with 25. It was a very tense finish to the group stage. But here we have it, 1 more minute, and one of these immaculate win rates will go down a little. But more importantly, one of these 2 men will advance to the next round and secure a top 6 spot in this year's World Championship. The others still have the chance, of course, but we'll have a couple rounds of losers bracket cut out for them before reaching the same heights. Of course, Yanni would know best that from the loser bracket it is possible to make it to the finals to win tournaments. But in a field like this, any round is... You can't take any map for granted at this point, and you can't take any match like that either.
Agent, get ready. Duel starts in
I
10
don't know why that
seconds.
made me laugh, but
9,
I'm sorry if that was the case
7,
actually.
6.
Final spin of the match.
4,
Sierra Knox
3,
injected
2,
poison as Moses
1.
Lee. Robert
Eliminate
Knox
the
fall
target.
as street musician. And I think it's Robert first after this. But it is a difficult one. You have to know a really specific tech about the sugar strat to make this spin work. Otherwise you are going to have a really tough time if you end the race with a pit stop for either teams. The driver of said team will stay in the pit immediately, but the other team, the winning team, will spend one more lap around, and that will be the exact time which players need to get Moses Lee after a Kavun pit stop sabotage and get the peekaboo on Sierra for that very important injected poison kill. But with Yanni starting Sierra, the street musician will be a late kill to get, which, well, if there are any disguises which you don't want to get at a random time looking for seemingly random cycles, then it's probably a street musician. Yanni's cycle with the mechanic works out nicely, and he will be the first one in the garage as well as into the map by more than 40 seconds. TimeCube, however, starting default, and will be starting the street musician kill, which is the safer option, and it doesn't feel longer, doesn't feel much slower. Yanni will have a big challenge ahead of him. Yanni's now at 1 minute, and if he can get the street musician 3 minutes from now, and of course get the Sierra kill as well, then the map is all his, but TimeCube with the safer strategy. Although he is going all the way around, he's not going Robert first. He might just be going the longest way around. No, he's going... So it feels interesting to me because he could have gone Robert first. Just getting 4 kill there, as there are no item restrictions. And he may still take a left turn, but it seems that TimeCube does want to get Sierra first. This will be a checkpoint. This could be difficult, but I think that the checkpoint guard leaving will give TimeCube a way inside. And all the enforcers, all the guards here won't be any issue for him. It's just fascinating. Yanni, meanwhile, ending the... Oh, Yanni! What happened there is it did not turn red for him immediately, and he could have been fine, but on the way back he turned red. And I think it would have been difficult either way, but Yanni with a lot of steps to do there just misses one. He's trespassing in the Kavun garage. And now Kavun... TimeCube. Nice as he rhymes with Kavun, but he has the disguise, the rubber disguise though. And he will be trespassing, and he gets caught trespassing by the Kronstedt guard who's coming down here after all panics like this. Back to even, back to a slight Yanni lead rather. And Yanni will be making his way back to the Kronstedt pit stop with the same isolation, the same guard, which everyone does at the vast majority of the spins. But players will need both the Moses Lee disguise, live kill on Sierra, as well as the street musician, and TimeCube the crucial first step done. That was scary to see, but TimeCube manages to avoid shooting a non-target. The second shot did indeed end up being a body shot for the guard. And Yeah, he can go straight through again. Thanks to the panic and the distractions. And yeah, for TimeCube it's also getting the sugar, then the agency pickup again. All the similar things. And Yanni with starting the emetic device immediately doesn't go back for other disguises. Just wants to get a peekaboo on Moses Lee quicker and safer, and I think it will still be 15 seconds. It gets a nitro. It's not something that you want at the decider to be messing around. And Yanni will be waiting for Moses any second now. We will see the cowboy hat appear. And I'm not sure if the first one was... Yeah, there was no whoosh there. There is a whoosh from someone that's not... It's a mechanic, that's not Moses Lee, so that will be a bit of a trouble, but hopefully the peekaboo wears off, and then needs to step out and then go back in very soon, because this peekaboo will accelerate. One can only hope that Moses is the one who reacting, but that was the mechanic. So much trouble getting Moses, and I think that was a mechanic. Yeah, that had to be one. There is no emetic to get Moses Lee. Yanni still has a Chank. It will be a Hail Mary attempt. Probably get the 2 Chanks, at least one. He needs to get the other one, but then how do you get the street musician? I think that's the question. And now there are multiple NPCs looking at Moses, so one will never leave the area. Luckily this way should one leave, but he's back trespassing. You can't really hide and sneak and ninja disguise if you are trespassing. Advantage TimeCube again. Who now hides in the box. This is some crucial timing, but it's not a peekaboo here, not necessarily. Just a seeker shot needed for Sierra.
47.
Gets the
Race
seeker
is
shot.
over. Sierra will be coming off the
Can
track.
TimeCube get the disguise of Moses Lee though? Time wants a double seeker. He wants as much time as he needs, but that means that Moses himself won't be able to make sick. And now TimeCube has the same problem. He will be trespassing inside his garages, but there will be no more emetic head turns. He doesn't want to risk it. He wants hammer distraction for this guard so that he's away and he can go back there. No peekaboo. And can he get the Moses peekaboo? That was much more comfortable. Moses will be reacting there. I was wrong about the cowboy hat headline. It's not part of the outline of Moses. How can TimeCube get this disguise now? That will be a very awkward head turn, but luckily he goes through this area. I think he almost dropped the hammer. No, hammer was always in his hand. And gets the silent attack, and very crucial Moses disguise. Injected poison in his hands as well. And Sierra is not a target with a lot of guards around, especially in this room. Seeker shot meant no one else is coming down with her. TimeCube has the Sierra kill, has the street musician disguise.
Next up,
He's just 1 4 kill away from defeating Yannini and moving to the final 6. I suppose if you want to find challenges, it would be to delete the evidence and leave this place as the street musician, but disguise is here and it's quite straightforward, although it's been a long time since the race ended. This corridor will have NPCs, and for the street musician they will be whooshing you, but he's now back in public area.
But I still can't believe it. It's just so mean.
Yanni gets the peekaboo on Moses
So much right now. I just saw
and likely
downstairs
won't be
by the garage.
too much behind TimeCube, but this is not looking good for the German. There is no real photo finish way when he could be going from behind to ahead. Yanni is crucially still green. And we'll be making a straightforward route to the tunnels next to the main start. Yanni looking for the Q prompt. There is no Q to silent eliminate with poison, but now he gets it. Without the disguise, it would be still a minute of a lead. With TimeCube having the disguise, it's almost insurmountable. And it's a silence pistol. A single shot will delete the evidence. And it's, in all honesty, just one successful kill needed. The second one can be botched because it's not a live kill. TimeCube getting the hammer ready. The guard is down. Robert is down. It's a very quick drag to the end of this balcony.
Both targets down. Well done, 47. Head for an exit.
You would want to check that one, but it's, to my knowledge, an instant fall kill. And it's just the servers playing with TimeCube. But it's almost always important to get. Single shot, not enough. Second shot did work out. And if he does not turn red, and there is no hunted glitch, one last loud shotgun shot to get. The TimeCube is in the final 6. Defeating the 3-time champion in the winner's bracket round 3. And TimeCube will be playing GK Punk for a spot in the final 3 and the semi-finals of the tournament. 2 rookies, who expected this one? Just in general, I mean, last year was won by a rookie. But it seems so unlikely to be repeated by another rookie this year, and yet, of course, GK Punk is just a Roulette Rivals rookie, not a Roulette rookie, but TimeCube on his first ever tournament, defeating another great. 3 RR titles from 2020 and 2021, and still from this year, 3rd place in RR7, and really strong showing in this year's tournament. Yanni is a force to be reckoned with. He still will be in the lower bracket, but it's still just such an amazing moment for the TimeCube, showing time and time again that he has taken the tournament and the community by storm. Going to be some incredible round 4 there, and he's just, I was just going to say that how much quicker Yanni would be on this attempt, it does not matter. Just a very somber finish of the round for him. Hopefully he realizes by now, because there would be probably nothing worse than realizing upon finishing. That's the end for Yanni, and that's the end of this match as well. What a match, what a play by both, and especially congratulations to TimeCube. I can take some responsibility for this one because I did show the brackets earlier this time. So I will give them one more refresh for an official update on the brackets. Maybe I shouldn't have, but as I feel the dead air, which I failed to do so during Whittleton Creek, for which I thank Barbecue for the help during it. It was a very rocky cast on my end, but thanks to him for helping out. And there is now the confirmation. The TimeCube with a 6-4 score, 3 maps to 2 of course, will be advancing to round 4, and GK Punk, another rookie, another first time Roulette Rivals player, will be meeting, and the winner of that match will be guaranteed to play, of course, at least 2 more rounds, and will be guaranteed to play twice for the grand final. Yanni, loser 46, but now he will be appearing as Yannini down here, is now in the top half of the lower bracket, same round as the buff guy and Pijero, and the loser of Danny versus Observer, which will be tomorrow, I think. And from this part of the bracket, we will see that Reaper 47 versus TK 47, the battle of the 47s in round 2. The winner of that will play Chromex, the winner of that will play Yannini, and Yanni should win one match against Chrome, Reaper or TK. he will play one of Blight, Zerun, and Buff Guy. And one of these names that I mentioned, only one will be able to meet the loser of 56. Gruesome, brutal, but this is how the brackets go, especially if it's double elimination. But that's about what we had for this match. And as far as future matches, we have 2 more tonight at 8 and 10:30 p.m. Central European Time. Road vs HITMAN and 47 vs 47. Oh god, so it's 47, HITMAN, 47 and 47. So it's a HITMAN themed day for players here. 2 more loser bracket matches today. Blight v Rune tomorrow at 3 is also loser bracket, and tomorrow at 6 Observer vs Danny Butia is our remaining round 3 match with 2 weeks and 1 more weekend to go before the final on December the 4th. So that should be it from us here. Once more, I would like to thank Chromax for adminning, Barbecue for co-casting and filling for one map. Apologies everyone for the abrupt break there. Thanks everyone for watching. GG's to the players, and until next time, see you everyone.